Alright guys, it's the intro, let's get it. For those of you that don't know, my name is Raymond Vanulia and I'm a photographer here in Los Angeles, California. I'm going to be showing you guys what I do on an average weekend. I'd show you what I do on a normal day, but 5 out of the 7 days of the week I am working a 9 to 5, so I really don't think that'd be too exciting. But what it comes down to is I shoot and I plan stuff. That's my weekend, that's the video, that's the end. Okay, so really pretty much what I do is I shoot every weekend, or at least I try to, mainly just to practice. The idea is that, creativity is like a muscle. You have to go out, you have to work it out so it can get better. Just like, any athlete, they have to go get shots up in the gym so that in game they can perform, and for me it's the same way. I have a shoot this weekend, or at least I had a shoot this morning that I recorded that I'm gonna show you guys how that went, and then later today I'm going to be hopping on a podcast with my friend Preston to talk about my photography, which I'm really excited for. So let's get it. Alright guys, so right now I am at Riverwalk Park in Riverside, California. I'm about to do a shoot with my cousin Catherine, so it's pretty early. We're here at like 8:30. I drove about an hour out. I am pretty tired. Had a cup of coffee, but I'll be alright. It's going to be fun. Let's get it. Alright, so I just finished up that shoot with my cousin Catherine. I'm pretty excited about the way the photos came out. We were able to find some nice pockets of evenly distributed light, just because, we shot earlier in the day, like 8:30, 9 o'clock, so sometimes it's hard to find good lighting in those times of the day just because the light is already so harsh. But we were shooting at a park, and we were able to find these nice little pockets of shadows and highlights that were just really evenly distributed throughout the frame. And so I'm excited about the way they came out, and honestly that's just one of the best feelings, is when you're shooting and you look at it and you're just like, it's gonna be a good shot. And then after that I was able to drive down to the photo lab not too far from my apartment. It's called Gold 1 Hour, and they're really fast. They do like same day just delivery for your scans and your negatives, so I'm pretty excited about that. Right now I'm about to hop on a podcast with my homie Preston, and he's gonna talk to me about my photography, which I'm super excited for, just because no one ever really comes in and says, hey, you should talk about your photography on this podcast or anything like that, or to a class or anything really. So I'm really excited to have this opportunity to at least talk about what's going on, in my world as a photographer. Alright guys, so I just wrapped up on Preston's podcast. I'm pretty excited for that one to come out, just because I got to say a lot of the things that I wanted to say about my photography career so far and this journey that I'm on here in LA. So I'm really excited for that one. Right now I do want to just take this time to talk about something that I touched on in the podcast, but I want to say a little bit more about it just because I feel like it does mean a lot to me, and it's something that it took me a while to learn while I was here. And honestly, it wasn't an easy lesson for me, because I'm a naturally competitive person. I've always wanted to be the best at what I do. I grew up playing sports, loving sports, like that culture of we have to be perfect, we have to be the best. That's what's been instilled in me. It's honestly, it is a Mamba mentality. But for me, something that I never really grasped the concept of until recently was the idea of community over competition. We are all competing, to get the same jobs. We all want to get the great sponsored posts, maybe some of us, and I know at least for me, I want to shoot with the brands that mean something to me. I want to shoot for brands that I enjoy and that I love, but at the same time, I also want to build the community of photographers too, because that's what built me. I hit a point where I wasn't really creating things that I was happy to be creating. I was more so just doing it, just to do it. And so what helped me was surrounding myself with people that wanted to help me get better. And when I say that, I mean like maybe it's not even other photographers or other models. It means just people in general too that are building you up, you know, and hyping you up and pushing you past your boundaries. Like that is why I'm so thankful, you know, for my girlfriend and for my 2 roommates who constantly push me creatively, and my best friend too. He's a graphic designer. You know, it's like they push me to be a better creator and, you know, and to see things differently. And I think that's really important. And, you know, I've gotten to talk to a lot of photographers, and even at my job, and, you know, that I work Monday through Friday, I love that I work with them because they make me see things in a way that I never really thought I would see them, like as an artist. And I think it's really important because having these different perspectives and having different people who are way better than you, way worse than you at what you do, on the same level, I think it's just super important because you're learning lessons from them too. You know, that you wouldn't have learned if you were doing it by yourself and just trying to be the best on your own. I just don't believe that it's healthy to want to root for other people around you to be bad so that way you can succeed. You know, of course, trust me, like if I'm applying for a job, you know, or pitching myself to a company, of course I want them to take me over the next photographer. Don't, you know, because I want the job, but somebody else is pitching for that job too. But I don't want to root for anybody to fail. You know, I just want to root for myself to succeed. I feel like building a community just means helping each other out because we're all in the same boat. You know, we're all going through this together. But the thing to remember too is there's enough food at the table for everybody to eat. And that's something I learned from one of my homies out at, when I did a shoot for them out of Milk and Tea, which is like a boba shop. You know, I did this shoot for them, and something he kept on saying was community over competition. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, community over competition? Like, no, we're competing against each other, you know? Like, we're all in the same business. Like, of course, like, I want to be the best. It's like, yeah, of course, you can be the best and you can strive to want to be the best, but that doesn't mean you should be putting other people down in your way. Yes, we are competing, but there's nothing like healthy, friendly competition. That's how you grow. That's how you make friends, honestly. And once I started to see things that way, like, I'm not here to compete with other photographers. I'm not here, you know, so I can compete and show and like flex that I'm the best. No, like, I'm here to learn from them, you know? I'm here to learn lessons from them, and I'm here to help other photographers that aren't where I'm at yet, that haven't had the experience that I'm at yet. Because if it wasn't for the photographers that did that for me, I know I'd be 10 times worse than I am right now. What it comes down to is be nice to people. You know, be nice to the other photographer that just got his first DSLR, you know, or the photographer who's still calling 120 size film 120 millimeters. Be nice to those photographers and help them out, because that's what we're here for. We're here to help each other out. There's enough food for everyone to eat. There's enough knowledge for all of us to share and for it to go around. And I think ultimately at the end of the day, it's just more rewarding. I've had a lot more fun talking to people just to talk to them about photography, as opposed to looking at other people's work and saying like, oh, I could do better than that. Like, no, hell no. You know, that's just, honestly, it's petty and it's sad. Yeah, of course you want to have that competitive edge to you where it's like, no, I know I can go kill that shoot, but you just don't want to root for people to fail. I hope any of that made sense. It's something I've been trying to say for a while. It's something that's been on my mind, you know, for the past probably couple months, because it was a hard lesson for me to learn. And so I'm also just going to put this out there. I know I'm not there yet where I want to be, but I know that I'm somewhere somebody else wants to be. And if that person ever wants any help learning about photography and the business, of course I'll be willing to help them out, just because I hope when the day comes, someone will do that for me. Alright, that's it for this video. Thanks guys for watching. I appreciate it. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.